What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about the good, the bad, and the Geoff Wilson. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today is a react video, and if you guys have watched any videos on YouTube, man, about the National, you've either had a Geoff Wilson video pop up or you've watched one of the Sports Card Investors videos. Now, whether you like Geoff Wilson or you don't, he garners a lot of attention in the hobby, whether it be from the cool videos he puts out, just sharing different things, or the weird videos he puts out with kids where it just kind of feels really forced, or even the videos that he puts out where he's defending himself, saying that he's not breaking rules. And then there's a lot of people in the hobby who talk about, you know, why is he being sued? Is this something that's important? So for today, I just want to kind of talk a little bit about my opinion, share that with you guys. I'd love to hear what you guys think as well. I don't really think of him as negative, right? Like, I get he has his son and he wants to interact with the kids and help the kids to have fun. He understands kids are the future of the hobby. He comes off as a little cheesy to me, but I don't have a problem with that. There are far worse people who get engagement or attention in the hobby. The biggest thing that we all need to remember is, why is the person doing it, right? So people ask me, like, well, yeah, but Josh, aren't you also making money from the hobby? Absolutely. Absolutely. I absolutely make money from the hobby. I do not make a penny off of this video, right? Or rather, I don't make more than like maybe 6 pennies, right? I'm not a large creator on the platform. I do this just to communicate with the people in my community and share my thoughts. Do I hope one day that it will go viral? Not really. If it did, that'd be cool, I guess. But I mean, if I cared about that, I'd be pumping out videos every single day. It's just not important to me, right? We have our group. We do our breaks. We have a nice time with each other. We submit cards to PSA. I have way more cards than I could ever handle at this point. Or sorry, I guess I handle them, but it takes me a while to handle them. We're not looking to really expand. I'm a one-man show, right? But Geoff Wilson has invested a substantial amount of money, time, and energy into his team. So they've got videographers, they've got content creators, they have multiple channels, they have an app. I mean, this is a financial juggernaut for him. That's not bad necessarily. It's just something that you want to take with a grain of salt. Every time he puts something out, he is looking to garner additional attention, which he can then hopefully monetize, right? And the number one thing about anybody creating attention is eventually they're going to try to do something with it, whether that be get people to vote or get people to donate to a cause or just to make a little bit of money so they can provide for their family. I don't think Geoff doesn't deserve attention. I think if you're into what Geoff puts out, that's awesome. I watch a number of his videos just to calibrate, right? Do I agree with him? Do I not? Where is he saying things are going? I go do a little research on my own and I make my own decisions. I do think that anytime, even if you take what I say as gospel or you take what he says, you got to take it with a grain of salt, right? You really got to think about, how do you feel? What do you think? And based on what they're saying, do you feel like it's supported by the way the market is or by your personal interests, right? Because at the end of the day, a lot of us collect because we just love to collect. And I do think, for me personally, he focuses a little bit too much on money and about making money and that kind of thing. And I do think that collecting in this hobby is about money to some degree. It has to be, right? People sell the product to us, whether that be Fanatics, Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, depending on what you collect, right? There are a lot of different people that are selling you the product, and you spend money, you know, for example, on something like Immaculate, right? Where you spend $1,000 or more on 6 cards, right? It's a significant amount of money. You're taking a risk. You hope to hit something worth money. That's how it works, right? But then we also buy products where, look, I don't care what comes out. I'm just looking to collect the cards. I think the cards are really cool. I spent a couple $100. I want to have a nice time. I feel like kids fall more into that second, where they spend a few bucks, they just want to have a nice time. And I think he talks about money too much to really be the voice of the kids, in my opinion. And I'm not saying he shouldn't be engaged with children. I think that's great. I think engaging with younger collectors is incredibly important, right? But again, my take, we're going to watch this video. It's about a 17-minute video. I'm going to pause it along the way. I'm going to point out some key things, which is when people tell you who they are, listen, right? We hear who he is in what he says, and it's not bad. It's just you got to know who you're dealing with, right? And again, he does fine. Everything is fine. There's nothing really that bad coming out. But yeah, anyway, let's jump into Geoff and the boys at the National. Here we go.
Anyways, what I was coming was to make you an offer on the NT RPA you had.
The card I didn't even bring to the National.
So first things first, why is there a 9 on a piece of sticker or something on there? And then when he jumps into this, I've only seen like the first 5 minutes, or not 5 minutes, like minute and a half probably. And then I decided to do a react video just because I know a lot of the community watches this. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Please engage with me. I'm going to type back and forth. I love these conversations if you guys are into it. But why is Geoff making a deal? Was this on accident or was this pre-planned? I would lean towards pre-planned. I don't think it really matters that much whether it was on accident or planned out, but it feels pre-planned because even his reactions are like over the top, and maybe that's just who he is.
To trade, but I had no idea I was going to get presented with an offer like this. Crazy first one, man. I tell you what, this is going to make good content right here. This is insane.
It also very well could be the guy standing across from him wanted to be on the video. You notice that he has a long line of people looking to make trades. If you haven't checked out Card Collector 2, he has a video where a long line lined up with him, and he was just buying cards for his shop. He was looking at comps and giving people like 70 to 80% of comps, which I think is more than fair. I think if you can find a card shop that can consistently give you anywhere between 60 and 80% of comps consistently, that's a very fair card shop. Now mine, certain products he says, hey, look, I can't move this fast. This is the type of stuff we're looking at. I think 60% would be like more obscure stuff, and then closer to 80% for anything hot, because they should move it at 100 and they get to make that small 20% margin. They're taking the risk of holding it. I think that's great. Let's jump back into the video. But yeah, check out Card Collector 2. His content at the National is always fun. I really like him. I think he's very personable. If I ever do decide to pull the trigger on opening up a card shop, I'm definitely going up and visiting his card shop. I've been following his journey a little bit just because it's really interesting to see a young person, and I know he's in his mid-20s now, but he started out pretty young and he's kind of built this all grassroots from the ground up. It's not to say he doesn't have a little bit of money or he didn't get some investments. I don't know, but it does feel like he's bootstrapping it pretty well, which is impressive.
It's day 3 of the National, and I am looking to trade. All these people have lined up to do trade deals with me. Look at this. And I'm ready to get some trade deals done. I think a big card is coming.
So look at me, I'm special, which again is fine. He's a personality on YouTube. He's a personality on social media. So I get it, right? But just notice that it's about him. He's trying to make himself seem cool and exciting. That's fine. And then a big card is coming, right? Ominous. Maybe he did this after. Maybe he did this before that deal. Maybe he knew about the deal. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he was just trying to upsell that they were going to find something exciting. But they do put these together to tell a story to get clicks, right? That's what they do. They make nice thumbnails. They do all the right stuff to get clicks. So
biggest shop in East Tennessee. If you ever knocked.
Oh, really?
So,
very cool.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. We're going to be enemies because I'm sure you're a volunteer.
I am.
Understood. I'm a diehard Florida Gator, so you know.
I'm a Colts fan though, so I like Anthony Richardson.
Okay, well there you go. We can agree on something.
Yep.
Nice to meet you, Zach.
Nice to meet you as
Absolutely.
well. Those are the main one.
That's
Yep.
crazy. Look at this. This is, wow. And I've been resisting buying more Desmond Ridder because I already put a lot of money into that one, which is already a massive risk, right? But if there's any other Desmond Ridder card I'm going to buy, it's got to be that one, right? I mean, look at that pair together. That's pretty beautiful.
And also with Geoff, we got to cut him a little slack. He's a Falcons fan and a Gators fan, so his life's been pretty tough for the last few years. Anyway.
This is the Disco, and that is the Black Finite.
Like to be in like the 75 to 10 range, I think.
Okay. If you're willing to do a trade at 7,500, I'd trade you out at 7,500 on it.
There's nice. What was the price on that one, did you say? The down?
1825.
I actually like that Otani too.
Yeah, so I'd work with you a little bit on that. That one needs to be graded.
Yeah.
It would grade, I think it would grade a 9. It's perfectly centered. The front of it is perfect. The back of it has a small issue in the lower left.
Okay.
It's been a few months since any of these have sold.
Okay.
The last PSA 9 sale was at 5,000. That was kind of what I was basing the price on.
So
you know, the
5,
market's
18,
obviously
16.
risen. Yeah, so over the last 60 days.
I will say this, he's pretty fair in his negotiations. The big thing with Ohtani, the price hasn't risen, the price has exploded. I mean, you're talking like base Ohtani Topps Chrome are selling for, like a base Ohtani Topps Chrome rookie, are selling for $300 to $400. I've seen a couple go at $500. I sold a little early. I did move a lot of it. I've got a few other things going on for myself personally. But yeah, everyone who bought an Ohtani from me in the last 3 months, they're doing great. Like Ohtanis are just absolutely leaving.
If you use like a base Ohtani card, it's up 49% over the last 60.
Yeah.
So that's why I was kind of like, you know, using those numbers, bumping it up, and you know, that kind of thing.
And to be honest, his could go up even more because that's an auto and it's a little more rare than like a base Ohtani. So I think he's being reasonable with his thought processes here. Like I said, I think he's a reasonable guy for the most part. A few things I don't like, and if he does any of them, I'll jump into them, but pay attention to what people tell you. They tell you who they are. He is a little bit of an attention whore, right? And I'm not saying that in a bad way. I do think that if your brand, so like, we're graded investors. By the way, rated rookie shirts are in, baby. Sorry, shameless plug. But we're graded investors, but for me, it's about a community, right? It's not about me, Josh. Otherwise, the name would be Josh or something, you know what I mean? Ambrose's card collector guys or something. For me, it's about a community. It's creating a community of like-minded people who want to have a good time and are chill, right? We're a chill community. Nobody's going too hard. We're just having a fun time. We got some big-time collectors, but like in the community, when we talk to each other, we just want to help each other. His community is 100% about him, and it's about making money, right? That is the emphasis of that community. And I'm not saying that's good, bad, or otherwise. Just know what you're getting into. Know, listen to people. They're going to tell you who they are.
But I'd be willing to come down a little bit because I did crack it. It is raw. Okay, so your offer is the Ohtani.
Did you guys hear that? He cracked it, so maybe it came out of a different slab, and that's why he knows it's going to be a 9.
And the Trevor Lawrence.
For the Ritter.
So you're getting 2 hot cards, liquid for the Ritter. And am I doubling down on Ritter? Am I doubling down on Ritter? You know what? I'm doubling down on Ritter. Let's do the deal. There you go.
Thanks,
Awesome.
sir.
Great deal, man. Look at that.
Thank you.
Let me know in the comments section down below who won. Did he win with the Ritter, or did the other guy win with the 2? I mean, Shohei Ohtani is a ridiculously liquid card on the move upwards, and I believe Trevor Lawrence is on the way up too. I would take those 2 cards over the Ritter. But let me know what you guys think. Does anybody out there really think the Ritter play, because it's the 1 of 1, is the play? Let me know. I'm curious.
That is, you never know what you're going to find at the National. I never expected another Ritter 1 of 1 black from Prism. The sister card to the one that I own. I never expected it to walk up to the booth, but it did. And that's a fair price point. So it's a card I had to make a play on. And I tell you what, go Falcons this fall. My goodness. I'm going to take some of these cards over to the eBay vault.
Hey, real quick, guys, and again, I'm going to ask things on and off. I want to engage with you guys. I want to have funny conversations in the chat here. But let me know in the comments. Falcons over under 6.5. Are you over on the Falcons win 6.5 or under? I am under. I'm way under.
The eBay vault is here at the show, but it's now also open to everybody at home, so you can submit your own personal cards to eBay's vault as well. And if you submit them to the vault and then decide to sell them on eBay, there's no seller.
So I know I'm stopping too much. eBay is the place to buy and sell cards, right? Like a lot of us like to do business other places. I'm on board with that, but at the end of the day, nobody says, hey, what's your Facebook comp? Hey, what's your this comp? They ask you what the eBay comps are because people base things on eBay. It is the #1 marketplace, and they back him. They are a sponsor of his, which means that he is well liked by the mainstream. So he at least is safe, if that makes sense, right? Like a lot of groups are not necessarily getting eBay or PSA to back them, but he is, and that says something.
Fees through the end of this year. Take advantage of the promotion. Go to ebay.com/vault. And thank you to eBay for sponsoring our national coverage.
And he will always point out that he has a card in a baseball set, which still makes 0 sense to me. I do like those cards, so I guess it makes some sense. Not his, but like, you guys know one of the ones I collect is that Topps Chrome of the gal from American Pie. I love those cards, right? I think they're cool. So he's in there. Who knows? Maybe 10 years from now, we all think it's super cool. But it does feel like he's pushing very hard that people notice it. Just my opinion.
How you doing? Thank you for your patience. How you doing?
Max.
Max, nice to see you, Max.
I'm mainly trying to sell this Kobe card.
Mainly trying to sell the Kobe card, okay.
Yeah. Gold auto out of 10.
That's pretty cool. I don't know a lot about that card. Did you have a price in mind on it?
I think it's 25.
Okay.
Cash and trade.
Cash and trade? I mean, that doesn't seem like a crazy ask for a Kobe numbered auto. That seems reasonable. It is a sticker auto.
It is. That's the only.
Yeah, this is a tough one to find, huh?
Yeah, there's no. I've looked so long. There's no comps on it.
I might be willing to do like trade and cash at like 2,000s. I 2,500 might be right. I just
Yeah.
don't know anything about it. So
That Burrow.
that one is right around 2,750, 2,800.
My offer would be this plus 400 cash for that.
I'd meet you in the middle on the value of the Kobe, and I do it for 500 cash.
Split at 450 gets it done.
You're splitting my split. You're splitting my split. You're a good negotiator, and I'll do it.
Let's do it.
So I think he's a little low on that deal personally, but I think the kid still wins, even though he gave up a little bit, just because the Kobe is going to be a little harder to move and going into the football season. I think I like Burrow, but smart kid. Smart kid. Geoff tried to go halfway, and the kid took half of half, so the kid got him 25%. He gave up 75%. Geoff came. Although Geoff pre-hedged, so hard to say that the kid outright won, but I would prefer the Burrow. Again, guys, in the comments section, let us know who you think wins these trades just for fun.
Let's do it.
I appreciate it.
There you go. Awesome. Good deal.
Great.
Oh, man, this has been absolutely incredible so far. What a treat. What a treat to be able to sit here and do trades with people who watch the show. I am just honestly overwhelmed by the amount of support we have, people who love our content, people who have come here wanting to do trade deals with me and my team at the National. I am so thankful. Thankful to all of you who watch and make this possible.
Another thing, and again, apologies for stopping it so often. Look at the quality, right? Really nice quality in the sense of like the video quality. So I come from a little bit of a video background, so the colors are good. They're shot well. It's not shaky, right? You don't feel like you're moving around like some people who do the vlogs, and you feel like you're just bouncing everywhere. There is something about that I think is really great. I also have thought about doing some coverage ourselves at the National moving forward, but I want it to be like a community thing, get a few people together, but very, very interesting. So yeah, anyway.
And man, if you guys weren't able to make it to the National this year, I hope to see you next year. But right now, I got more trade deals to do. Let's take a look. So you want to do a trade?
All right, yes, I would like to do a trade.
Cool. Three that you're the most interested in are these three.
Yep.
That one I also got off a guy last night at trade night. I think it's around like $125, something of that neighborhood. Would you be interested in doing those two for those two maybe?
Those two for those two?
Those two for those two. I think that puts it around, so you said 150 and 30, so that's around 180.
180, yeah.
These I think are a little over 100, 125. They're in that neighborhood, and then if I brought this one down a little bit, I think that brings that right around the same value.
You said this one was 125?
That one's 125. Would you rather have that one?
I think I would rather have that one. I can put some cash in for that one.
You want that one? I would be happy to do it without cash.
Really?
You want to do that?
Yeah.
Do it. Awesome. Good deal, man.
Yep.
Good trade deal. Let's do it. Sweet. Enjoy that. I think that 18 pounds is a great card.
Yep. Thank you.
Awesome. Sure. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I like the Vince Carter, the Dunkin' Donuts insert.
It's a rare one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so what's special about that card is that's his rookie year.
Yeah.
That's 1998.
I saw him like one of the older videos, so I was like, I have to get it.
So I love Steph Curry autos, so that probably out of all the ones, that's the one that stands out to me the most.
Okay.
But I'm also, also be happy to just do cash on it as well. I would do that plus $250 in cash for that.
You know what? We got a deal.
Got a deal?
Yep.
Boom. There we go. Awesome. Good deal. And that's a
I'll be honest, dude. I love the kids getting, like, seeing a card they want and then going out and getting it. That is phenomenal. I was never that kid. I just loved ripping packs. I've retrained my brain to, like, go and chase cards I actually want, not just ripping. But I love to rip. You guys know that. But I love seeing that, dude. The kid who's like, you know what? You got a deal. Dude, all right. That's awesome, man.
Crazy card. I would hold on to that one if you can.
This is awesome.
Yeah,
what you're
thank
doing.
you. I know. I'm super happy with this. I'm super pleased. Yeah.
All right. Well, it's a unique piece. But,
Right. These were the schedules.
Yeah. Now, what's cool about these is 86 was the Fleer year, what everyone
Okay.
knows as rookie.
Okay.
85 was Star,
Okay.
when they had the sealed packs.
Yep.
There wasn't anything from 84.
Okay.
These are starting to get more recognized. But
Well, now technically the stars were 84, 85.
They
as
were
well.
84, 85.
They were. Yeah.
Yeah.
They say 85 in the corner.
Right.
But they were
right.
the 84, 85 season. This is still
But
would be
this
earlier
is-
than that because this would be during the season.
Yeah, this is actually the season coming out.
Yeah. Right.
You know, and this is our up and coming rookie.
Yeah.
So I just figured I'd bring it by you and see if you were interested in anything Chicago unique and specific.
This is interesting, right? So at the National, you see some really unique pieces, things you don't see anywhere else. I'm curious to get the audience's opinion. Like, are these things that you could see having a lot of value in the future? It's a collectible that not a lot of people have really thought about or are cued into, but he's right that this is maybe the first official Chicago Bulls Michael Jordan thing.
Yeah,
It's somewhat card-like that was ever created, and it's not something right now that most collectors are even aware of or paying any attention to.
I appreciate you taking the time and seeing everybody in the line. I know,
And
I know
thank
you gotta
you.
push stuff back. We appreciate
okay.
it. Someone
No.
else will be mad, but I'm gonna let you know we're happy.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
truly. What do you got on the?
Yeah, let me look at these. So it's probably like a $350 card or something
Sure.
like that.
Oh, trade value.
Yeah.
I would put it around $250 each.
Okay.
Would you want to do that in cash?
I do that in like
Throw a number. I won't be insulted.
$100.
Done.
You want to do it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So, real quick, this guy is a fan, right? You can tell he is giddy. Those two Michael Jordan schedules, like small card, like those things are dope. I think he kind of undersold them because they haven't been realized yet. I think Geoff really kind of got a good deal on this one. I don't know what the guy got back. I'm sure he got what he needed back, and he got to meet his guy that he likes. That's awesome. You got to meet Geoff. Don't ever say, don't worry about throwing something out. You won't insult me. So just to give you guys a little bit on me. So I used to sell cars. I was a closer at the end of my career of selling cars. I sold cars for about 10 years. I spent about the last 8 to 12 months as a closer. I, for 5 years, sold my own cars, closed my own deals. Number one rule in negotiating is make a statement. You got to shut up. And you got to give the other person time to formulate. It was almost as though he was pushing Geoff to put out a number. Geoff was in the middle of like raising his number, trying to, like, I don't want to be insulted. Maybe 75. No, maybe like 150. And then the guy says, I won't be insulted, and Geoff kind of nails 100 right away. You got to just be quiet, let people think it through and make their own decision. It is going to make healthier deals, and potentially you're going to make more money off of it because they're going to think about you a little bit and maybe offer a little more than they might. So anyway, still, I like what Geoff picked up there. I would love to pick up one of those Jordans for $250. Are you kidding me? I'll pay cat. Here you go, $250, done. Just to have one of those in my collection, because what an interesting piece, right? And they were graded an 8, which those wouldn't grade well, period, let alone, like, what did somebody do? Put it in their pot? Like, I don't even know how it got from point A to point B. So, pretty cool. Anyway, just my opinion.
I'm here to have you,
appreciate it.
honestly.
Okay, thank you.
Make these look good.
I mean, it's
they're beautiful.
yeah, they are. They're really.
I'm not
unique
opposed to
pieces.
Griffey Auto.
It's a unique piece. I mean, it's
And-
definitely a unique piece.
Yeah, and it's something that I think, like I said, it's hard to get in the ground floor of Michael Jordan.
Yeah, there you go. All right, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm here in Chicago, and I just picked up some more Michael Jordan. This one's something really unique. You don't see it, but we're going to give it a shot and add it to the PC. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Thank you.
Take care.
Yeah.
What I was coming was to make you an offer on the NT RPA you had.
Oh, okay. I got that
brought
right back
cash
over
and
there, too.
cards.
Okay.
And so I didn't know I'd have to include this on the deal just because of the money of it.
Okay.
But the rest I could do cash or cards that I brought.
Okay. All right, okay, all right.
Are you open to an offer like that?
I'm open.
Okay.
So I wasn't planning on...
No, and I know
wasn't
that.
planning on trading
You can
that
say
card,
no to me, you
but
know.
I actually wasn't even going to bring the card to the National.
I wondered if you'd even bring it.
I may have made a snap judgment. The way the guy is responding to Geoff does seem like this kind of came out of the blue. It's still interesting nonetheless, and it does create good content, but you can tell that Geoff loves the content, like it excites him because people will watch this video more. And I haven't looked at the numbers on this video, but I assume they're very good. Yeah. Oh no, that's not the numbers for this one. Where are the numbers? I hate the way they move the numbers around for YouTube, but either way.
The reason why I brought it to the National is because I took it over to PSA. It was a BGS 9, and I took it to PSA and said, would you cross this over to a PSA 9? And they just got back to me this morning and said, we will cross it over to a PSA 9.
Wow, that's
so
cool.
that actually...
I didn't know that was even going on.
It was.
Very
so that's the only reason why I have it.
Okay.
That probably does enhance the value of it a little bit.
Okay, sure, and I would understand that.
Let me
I
have
would
my
understand
team grab it real quick. All right, give me a second.
No, you're fine.
Can I see what cards you have?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I brought, I think that's, you can look through the rest of this.
So Geoff, the guy who's all about the money and understands the money financial aspect of it, BGS 9 is not worth as much as a PSA 9. It's wild, it doesn't make a ton of sense, but it is predominantly true. It's not always true, but it is true more often than not, so kind of interesting.
So I don't...
the big ones? Okay.
Yeah.
This guy's got a collection, man. He's got some sick stuff. Like that's a Babe Ruth Gowdy. He's got, I can't even tell what that is, Ty Cobb on the 1909. I mean, he's got some stuff.
Those are the bigger ones.
Okay. So you were looking to try to trade this, Steph Curry, gold refractor, plus cash to get one of the National Treasures. RPAs.
Right.
Yeah. So.
And maybe a few other cards, you know.
Sure.
But yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I went to PSA and I said, would you cross this from a BGS 9, min grade of 9 over to PSA 9? And they evaluated it and said they would. So that's the card. So my plan was I was actually about to go back to PSA and drop it off. That's interesting. You're interested in it. Now the only challenge that I have.
Yes. Wow.
Isn't that funny?
Wow. Is that an 8.5 on it? So this was actually an upgrade, That would be an upgrade. An upgrade.
That's an upgrade.
See, one thing I don't love about BGS is that, the guy's like, well, mine is slightly better. And you're like, I mean, yeah, but like, it's the same card, you know what I mean? But the idea, anyway. So his has an 8.5, it looks like 99995, and this one's a 99985. You go, his is actually a full point better than Geoff's here, but they're the same grade, right? Full point meaning a half point in 2 spots. Anyway, it's interesting.
You got better sub grades on yours.
Yeah.
So this one's yours. So that's the 49 out of 50. Mine's the 46 out of 50.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty wild, huh?
That's cool.
Those are.
I never thought I'd see two together like that. Yeah.
Yeah. If I didn't already own the Curry, I would be more apt to do something. It would be an upgrade going from mine to yours.
Right.
Yours is obviously a little bit nicer with the subgrades.
Right. That's kind of what I was thinking, is give you a lucrative deal to where, maybe it would entice you.
Do you have a value in mind for your?
Because I did a deal for this card about the same time you got this, and I did a deal at $95K in cash trade.
Okay.
So I was kind of thinking like,
I like Curry as much as the next guy, but $95,000 for a gold refractor? Eek.
95 versus maybe 145.
Okay.
So plus 50 for you.
Yep.
And 20 of that's cash. I could do another 9,500 today in Venmo.
Okay.
So 29.5 in cash, and whatever other cards to make up the other 20,500.
That's not bad. Okay.
Was my thought, to where I think you're making decent money there.
Yeah, that's not bad. Okay. Man, I did not expect to get hit with this big of a
I get it.
trade
Yeah,
opportunity
no,
or
I get
offer.
it. I get it.
Right, right off the bat.
Sure,
wow.
sure.
let me take a second here to think about this. Wow, this is crazy. So
I just want to point out, like, when you go buy a house, there's a 30-day closing period. Think about the fact that 15, 20 years ago, 150 grand was a house in a lot of areas. These guys are doing $150,000 value trade. Now, mine, between the two, it's close to $250,000 plus. Once he adds in everything else, it's going to be technically $300,000, right? 148 for about 148. It is wild to watch. So you got to give it to him. He's giving us some interesting content where you see somebody, this guy who really covets, he wants that rookie national treasure, Stephon Curry, which is a sick card. Yeah, it's interesting. So you got to give it to Geoff. He does put out some interesting stuff, no question.
right now, total population of this card in existence in the world. So there's 14 of this card in a BGS 9.
Okay.
There's 12 in a BGS 9.5. So 12 are a little bit nicer
wow.
than
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
There's one in a PSA 10. I can't
It
imagine.
just got graded here, like yesterday.
Oh, did it really?
Yes, swear to God, I saw it on Twitter yesterday. PSA did a big thing where check out this grade, and it was a
Wow.
gold 10-10.
Oh my
Unbelievable.
gosh.
I'm a big fan of this collector. Dude, if you're out there, you see this video, bro, hit me up. I'm a big fan of you. You are awesome, bro. Like, the energy and the excitement, dude, this guy is fun. I would love to interview you, ask you how your experience was. Bro, you are awesome. You know what I mean? Like, the kid was awesome who's like, let me think about it. All right, deal. The kid who said, all right, meet me in the middle. All awesome. I love you guys. You guys are what the hobby is about, dude. It's so fun. It's fun to watch people get, like, excited about a card. In mine, it's a very big card, right? That card in a PSA 10, I mean, if this one's 150 in a 9, you got to figure it, like, nearly double. So it's like a 300 maybe-ish thousand. Tell me what you guys think in the comments, but I'm thinking $300,000 card. But the energy that this guy is fired up. He's actually, like, seems a little animated to the first place, but I don't know. I like this guy. This guy's awesome. If you see this video, brother, reach out. I would love to chat with you. It's really cool. Oh no,
Me away, and the patch was like that cool.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
big bold letters and stuff
I
like
mean,
that.
I think that card be $1 million plus.
I don't know. Yeah, I would have to say. Yeah.
And then there's one.
I don't know if I agree with the million, but maybe $500,000. I mean, I don't know if it ratchets up like 10x, but if it's the only one, I mean, and it's coveted, and you just never know. Drake might buy it,
PSA 8 and that's it.
Oh, wow.
There's no PSA 9s.
Wow.
So if this were to go from a BGS
That's
9
why
to
you
a
think the
PSA
PSA 9 would be a big difference.
The PSA 9 would be valued over the BGS 9s.
Because of the less popular
Probably not
population.
quite as much as the BGS 9.5s.
Okay, right.
And not as much as the PSA 10, but it would elevate it over the 14 BGS 9s.
Gotcha.
So then it would become, you've got some 9.5s and you've got a 10 ahead of it, but that's
The PSA
it.
9s, you kind of got the one.
And it is the only, it would be it looks like it would be a pop 1.
That's unbelievable.
PSA 9, if you were to cross it. Okay, so your offer right now is...
So what Geoff just did, so we did this in the car business. You'd walk around the car and you'd tell them what's wrong with theirs, and then you'd walk around your car and you'd point out all the new stuff that they're going to love. Geoff is upselling his card a little bit, right? He's like, hey, if this moves to a 9, which they said they would, he has not paid for it, right? So if you're talking $150,000 card, that's like a somewhere between $2,500 and $5,000 cost to have that crossed over, right? And it's worth it because the value is going to go up by 50, 60 grand for $2,500 to $5,000. But that right now, and I don't know what they negotiated. That's why it'd be super interesting to talk with you, dude, if you're out there. But if the deal goes down, would the guy then have to do it, or would Geoff take care of that part? It's just something to think about. He's already gotten the pre-grade, but there's still a value to be paid, right? We've had, I think our biggest grade cost was something like $1,800. So we've had some big grade costs on cards we've sent across on big cards, on $15,000 cards. So that's a part of why these cards sell for so much, is because there is a lot of cost in getting them graded because they are insured. So anyway, we can dig into that more in another video.
Is that Steph Curry plus
This 20 grand.
20 grand.
plus either cash, 10 more grand cash, and more cards, or just more cards, up to you.
I'd probably take the cash if I'm
Sure,
gonna do it.
yeah,
So basically,
no, I'll do that.
So basically 30 grand cash.
Yes,
And the Steph Curry.
right,
And then 20 grand worth of additional cards
right,
for that.
right.
All right, so I can't help it, dude. I love so much of this deal. I love the fact that this dude brought $20,000 in actual cash, right? It is incredibly tempting, okay? The reason I say that is a lot of us have big cards, right? I don't have a ton of them, but I have a lot of cards, right? And if somebody brings actual cash where I go, holy shit, okay, that's real money. I don't have to pay fees on that. I don't have to, the money's here. It's right here. I can see the money, right? I go, that gives me some peace of mind. The guy's offering an additional $10,000 through Venmo and maybe something else. I go, man, so he's potentially going to cash out $30,000. He is going to trade down. Now, there's some questions that we can have some conversations. If you guys are interested in the future, we can definitely talk this out, because what's the value in trading down? In my opinion, you get yourself to smaller cards that are easier to move, right? A $150,000 card is hard to move. And if you can't find that $150,000 buyer, you might take some L's if you take that to auction, right? Whereas there are some cards that are extremely liquid, right? Here's an example of a crazy liquid card right now, right? So check out this card right here. That right there is a Shohei Ohtani Topps Chrome rookie. Dude, $300-400 all day. Bang, 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 all day. $300-400, and they're going up right now. That's one of my last ones. I'm on the fence. Do I sell it? Do I keep? I don't even know. I don't have a ton of PC Shohei, so it's not really my PC. I'm more of a Twins guy, and I have some favorite players, but I do love Shohei. He's great. The point is, though, is that if Geoff can trade down, he can trade down to some more liquid cards, and he can actually cash out a little more. So it's a question of, with his collection right now, is he looking to accumulate huge cards, or is he looking to cash out a little bit of stuff so that he can go do something else, whether that be get more cards or whatever. So anyway, I find it incredibly interesting. It's a complicated thought process, and you can see Geoff's going through it. Part of it is also making this incredible video, right? Because this video is incredible. This is a far better video than a lot of the videos that you see out there. So you got to give it to Geoff. He got lucky a little bit, right? Had just the right deal come together, or the right opportunity. So this is incredibly interesting, actually. It's better than I thought.
Gosh.
I feel like you're coming out ahead on that.
I was not planning on trading that away. But I mean, it's, wow. But it's a good offer. All right, well, I think
it's the best I got.
I think if I'm going to do this, I'm going to trade back down. If I'm going to take less cards and go back up, I think I'll trade for some classic cards.
Sure.
So I think probably the Mantle is interesting, the Ruth, the Bird. Of the modern ones, the Jokic is
35
cool.
on that.
Okay.
I think these are around like 55 to 6.
Okay.
I think these are right around 65, maybe to 7. And then this, I'm not even sure. I haven't looked on a while on that.
I can look these up here in Market Movers in a second.
That's the only one I'd have to look up real quick. And I know ones can vary.
An SGC 1.5 just recently sold for 11,000.
Okay.
And the last sale of an SGC 1 was 6,700.
That sounds about right. Yeah. I was going to be at about 6 to 65 on it.
Yeah,
so.
6,700, and that was a year ago.
Yeah.
The last sale of a PSA 1 just sold the other day for 6,600.
Okay.
So 65.85.
Yeah.
Sold earlier this month. Yeah.
I think
this guy is being super reasonable. He's giving Geoff a little bit of room on everything. At this point, I would be very surprised if the deal doesn't get done. The only reason I see the deal not getting done is if Geoff just decides he doesn't want to let go of the Curry. And the win for this guy potentially is that PSA 9 driving some good value upwards for him. But he's being very reasonable. I think he really wants the card, which I think Geoff, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like what's Geoff thinking. So again, I was a closer in the car business. I'm always trying to put myself in the other person's shoes just so I can kind of figure out like, how do I navigate to the end, right? We're moving towards a deal. How do we finish this one up? And I think Geoff is dragging his feet a little bit, partially because he doesn't necessarily want to move the Curry, and partially because he's trying to make sure he gets a very fair deal. And the big thing is like on a $150,000+ card, you know, $5,000 is really not a lot of money. It sounds like a lot of money to most of us, right? And even I would be like, whoa, $5,000, that's like a lot. But it would be the equivalent of on a $150 card moving $5, right? It's not really that much in the grand scheme of like what we're doing or what they're doing right now. So I genuinely went into this video thinking I was gonna hate it, but I actually really enjoy this deal. I really enjoy this collector. Again, this dude is awesome. Like, you can tell he really wants this card, just like the kid who came in for that Dunkin' Donuts, which, good job, kid. That Dunkin' Donuts card is sick, bro. Congratulations. That's a nice pickup. But yeah, I like this a lot, actually. So
I think 65's
Okay.
probably the number on it then. 12.5 and 65 here.
Yep.
That's 20 grand.
We're getting close. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that's 12.
If I do
Yeah.
if I do that 20, this 20, and then PayPal you 10, that would put us there, I think. But I don't mind doing less PayPal or less Venmo and another card either,
Right.
if there's another card you want.
One of these just sold for 11.
That was a straight 9, all
Straight
nines.
9, okay.
Yep.
The one before that was 9,300, but it again may have been
I don't
lower.
know the subs on that
Let
one.
me look at
yeah.
that one. That one actually didn't have subs, so that's why.
Oh, okay.
And
I'm
then-
just a little higher than the straight 9
Yeah,
one.
yeah, no, I understand.
I'm
No, that
just
makes
up
sense.
at 1,500 for that.
That makes sense.
Oh yeah, that'd just be 19. Sorry, that'd only be 19.
Yeah, that would be 19. Yeah, around 19. Yeah.
Or around 19. Yeah.
Gosh.
I'll tell you what, I'd put in one of these and still throw you 5 extra grand through. So cutting down.
Okay.
Basically, you're coming out way more ahead on one of those.
all right, what did I say earlier? You gotta just be quiet. Let Geoff is being methodical, right? He's being very reasonable, going through it, just thinking about it, working it out. You're giving away stuff. And again, I really love this collector. I genuinely love this collector. I'm just sharing this from like hey, I used to, do relatively large deals all day long selling cars, ranging 15,000 all the way up to, 120,000 for like a bad boy Corvette Stingray type car, you know what I mean? So big Cadillac Escalades, things like this. Ooh, the Cadillac, what was it called? The SR8 or something. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but we sold it was basically a Corvette Cadillac, which is kind of sick, but you gotta just give him a second, right? I think this collector maybe doesn't have a read on Geoff. Geoff wants this deal now. I really feel like Geoff is talking himself into this deal, and sometimes it's incredibly important to just be quiet, right? So sometimes what I would do is I'd put my hand on the shoulder of my salesperson, and if I push down, that meant not to talk. And I wouldn't do it in a way that would hurt them. I'd just press on their shoulder a little bit so they could feel it. And my guys knew that meant I'm asking you politely, just be quiet for a second and let's all just be quiet. Because sometimes you've got to let people buy in. Again, I love this collector, dude. You are so much fun. I love the excitement level. It's a very exciting card, so I get it. But dude, you have some monstrous cards. So, golly, this is fun. Again, went into this video not thinking it would be fun. This is pretty fun, actually. But again, car background for me. I enjoy the deal. I enjoy the negotiating. I think it's incredibly fun.
If you're interested in one of those.
So just to recap where we're at right
Sure.
now. So you're offering me this Steph Curry, Jordan, Mantle, Babe, plus 25,000 cash. Is that right? With the man, or what's the offer
Yes,
right now?
20,000 and 5 more through PayPal or Venmo.
Those 4 cards plus
Yes.
25,000 cash for
Correct.
the Steph Curry
Correct.
RPA. I would do it, but I would want 28,000 cash.
So another 8 on top of
8
this.
on top of that. Okay.
Thank you, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate you.
there you go,
You're
man.
awesome, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that was sick, dude. That was awesome.
All right, so we have a 1991.
All right, so real quick, guys, let's stop this one here. Oh, man. That was fun. You know what? I'll be honest. I don't love their content. I walk away from a lot of their content going, I mean, that's their opinion, whatever. But watching a deal and enjoying, like listen, Geoff went for a little extra. He said, give me a little extra, because Geoff's not 100% sure. This is me defending Geoff to some degree. I don't feel like he was being, I don't think he was gouging the guy. I think Geoff in his head was arguing, could a PSA 9 boost the price enough that 150 isn't the number anymore? And I think he's right. I think he may have undersold it. It may be a $200,000 card once that guy runs it through PSA. And I think the guy knows that, because the guy shook his hand. Either it was a jump cut maybe, or the guy shook his hand quick. But it seemed like Geoff said 128 and the guy shook his hand. Now, again, Geoff's team might have made that look good. The guy might have hemmed and hawed and said, I'm not sure where I'm going to eat dinner next week, or whatever. But yeah, I like that, man. So let me close out with this, guys. First of all, if you guys made it to the end, type BGS9 in the chat so I know you guys made it. I'm curious how many people actually make it to the end of this video. So type in BGS9 in the chat, and then whatever comment you want. If you guys make it to the end, I'd love to know who actually watches these videos to the end. But I appreciate you guys checking out the video. If you guys like this type of content, let me know. We'll try to do more in the future. But I'm going to close out with these thoughts. So, one, BGS is confusing, right? Because if I got a BGS and it's got this and that, and you go look one up, and all of a sudden there's a lot of negotiation and flexibility. Because let's say a BGS 9 straight nines all the way across sells for $1,100, and I've got a BGS 9 with two 9.5s. Is mine worth $1,150? Is it worth $1,125? Is it worth $1,200? Like, how much more is it worth? And so you have all these very, very strange half steps, which is yet another reason I really kind of just prefer PSA. Because you know what a PSA 10 sells for, you know what a PSA 9 sells for in the particular cards. But I'm not the biggest fan of sports card investors all the time. I do think that they create content intentionally. They go out of their way to create content. I've made a couple other reaction videos with them, and they genuinely work to create content. It's what they do. They're content creators. This, though, was engaging content. I like seeing the trades. I like seeing collectors like you and me just out there and getting to meet people who we enjoy. I enjoyed seeing him take photos with people. I thought that was really, really cool, but I really enjoyed the back and forth on that big trade. I hope that trade genuinely went down. I'm sure it did, but I really hope it did, because I think that collector, like, genuinely is going to find a lot of joy in having that card. At least I hope so, because, man, that was really, really cool. So anyway, appreciate you guys checking out the video. Again, if you guys have any questions or you have any thoughts, do not hesitate to let me know. Appreciate you guys taking the time, and I'll see you guys soon.